Good morning, everyone. 5% returns, no risk, full liquidity. That is what high yield savings accounts are promising in the United States right now. And on the surface, it sounds like the perfect financial decision. Save money, guaranteed returns, no stress. But here is the question almost nobody asks. If banks are willing to pay you 5% on your cash, then what are they doing with your money that makes this profitability for them? Because once you understand that, you will stop seeing high yield savings accounts as a simple product and start seeing them as part of a much larger financial system. Most people look at a savings account as nothing more than a place to store money safely, somewhere that cash can sit without risk and without much thought. Serious investors, however, see it very differently because they do not treat cash as idle. They treat it as a strategic asset. For them, a high yield savings account is not about growth or wealth creation. It is about positioning their capital in the way that gives them control, liquidity, and the ability to act when opportunities appear. This changes the entire perspective because the question is no longer whether 5% is good or bad. The real question becomes where this fits within a complete financial strategy. When used correctly, it becomes one of the safest and most powerful tools to maintain stability and flexibility within a portfolio. But when used incorrectly, it quietly limits long-term wealth by keeping too much capital in a place that was never designed to generate real growth. Banks are not paying you 5% out of generosity. They are paying you because your cash is valuable to them. And when you deposit money into a high-yield savings account, the bank uses that capital to lend, invest, and generate much higher returns elsewhere. The important point is that your 5% is not the real opportunity. It is only a fraction of the total potential value being created. Many people misunderstand this and think they are earning, when in reality, they are participating in a system where the bank remains the primary beneficiary. This is not wrong, but it is essential to understand because recognizing how the system actually works allows you to use high yield accounts strategically, rather than treating them as a source of meaningful wealth on their own. The reason these high yield returns exist today is not random. They are driven by the interest rate environment in the United States. When central banks raise rates, banks must compete more aggressively to attract deposits, which is why they offer higher yields. However, it is important to understand that these returns are not permanent. They are cyclical and can change as economic conditions shift. People who treat these temporary conditions as if they are permanent strategies almost always make poor financial decisions because they misalign their capital with the true underlying risk and opportunity in the market. The way disciplined investors use high yield savings account is very specific because they do not treat this as an investment, but as a strategic layer within their overall financial system. A portion of their capital is intentionally kept in highly liquid, low-risk environments so that it remains accessible at all times without volatility. This money serves multiple purposes at once. It acts as a safety reserve. It provides stability during uncertain conditions. And most importantly, it creates the ability to move quickly when opportunities appear. Instead of locking all their capital into long-term investments, they maintain this layer so they are never forced to sell assets at the wrong time. The return itself is not the primary goal here. Even though 5% is attractive, the real value lies in flexibility, control, and protection. Most people misunderstand this completely and either ignore such accounts or overuse them. But serious investors place them precisely where they belong as a foundation that supports better decisions across the entire portfolio. This is where many people make critical mistakes. They see 5% and stop thinking, assuming it is safe, guaranteed, and a sign of progress. Over time, however, inflation, missed opportunities, and the lack of real growth quietly erode wealth. And because there is no visible loss, the damage often goes unnoticed. This creates one of the most dangerous financial illusions, where comfort replaces strategy and a false sense of security prevents meaningful long-term financial planning. The real question is what role your money is playing within your overall financial strategy. Money that is always safe never grows, and money that is always exposed never survives. The solution is not to choose one over the other, but to structure both intentionally, allocating capital in a way that balances security with growth while maintaining flexibility and control. In the next video, we will go deeper into something most people chase, but very few understand. Passive income, not the idea, but the reality of what actually works and what does not. Take care of yourself. Do not stress. Stay connected to your family. That is the best and the only wealth, that is generational wealth, as I say, that is never lost and only multiplies with time.